What's going on? Welcome back to Real World Tool Reviews. And I've been having some fun working on my truck. And I did a video kind of after I replaced something in my truck last week. And it got me thinking about a good setup for my DIY mechanic kind of kit, you know, for what I use. Because I'm not a car guy, really. I don't know everything about cars, but I do try to do the basics myself, you know. And I think I've gotten a lot of questions about like a good kit to keep in your car, you know, for working on your car or something. And ever since I got these snap together DeWalt kits, I've been kind of trying to find a good setup for me, because like, even though I have all the tools in the world in my truck is set up for maintenance work. It's set up for grab a bag and go do a job. But when you're working on a car, like if you've ever worked on cars for any amount of time, you know that it's like, it's good to just have a set to grab and not have to keep walking back and forth, finding stuff. So I wanted to make a kit for just, if I'm doing something like I did yesterday, replaced my headlights and my fog lights in my truck. Super easy job. I was just upgrading them. I'm really happy with the way they look now. But if you're doing something like that, you want to just have like some stuff to grab, you know, and go. I have a great socket set that is a Milwaukee, and what I've done kind of in the past, get all this stuff out of the way. If you guys have seen these, so there's your Milwaukee case, and I take the socket set, put it in the toolbox. And that's great about the Milwaukees. It goes over there in that empty drawer over there. And that's awesome. But it makes this kind of like, I don't know, I just don't like grabbing it and taking it out of the toolbox and putting it in here. Now, it is a great set, and we will talk about this kit on another video. But I wanted to have a set that could live in the truck and also just be my main one that I use when I'm working out in the driveway. Now, if I've got my truck pulled up to the shop, I'll use this set. But I want to have something that lives in the truck. I just pull it out and do my thing, you know, if I'm doing a quick job. So this is kind of what I've been using, and I've used this setup a few times now, and I really like it. So I'm just going to go over it. This is my, you know, DIY mechanic kit. So these snap together cases are awesome. And in my recent tool haul that I did for my Black Friday purchases, I got several of these. The first one I got was this socket set. And this socket set is just, I'm really happy with it. Changed my oil yesterday, used, you know, the 5/8 is my drain plug, and the K&N oil filters that I buy have a 1-inch socket that you can put on the end of them, so you don't have to put a wrench on there. I'm bad about tightening them too hard. Even when I do it, I think I'm doing it hand tight, and then I can't get it off, but I used the 1-inch yesterday. So anyway, these are really high quality sockets, and it's just a great little case. I like this ratchet even. So anyway, I won't go too in depth about that. I was keeping some stuff under here, but it got to be kind of annoying, so I stopped doing that because it wasn't sitting in here right. But a great little 3/8. I'm a fan of 3/8. That's what I like to use the most. And I didn't have a 10mm in here. It starts at 12mm, which I thought was dumb. So I bought a Capri impact socket off of Amazon. It's a 10. Threw it in there because, you know, everybody needs a 10mm and a 3/8 socket set. But I wanted to have, like, you know, you have your socket set, and then you always got to go get something, bits or screwdrivers or a different ratchet, or you know, maybe you need a little 1/4 inch socket. And so in the past, I've always been like digging through stuff in my truck. I got it all, but I figured I'd snap together another set so that these can, you know, they can live together. And my most frequently used stuff from working on the truck, I can just, you know, roll this way. So I just threw some stuff in here, and it's been working out really well, like really well. So this is kind of 1/4 inch. So those Makita sockets that we talked about in that last video about this stuff, standard and metric, they fit in here really nice. And then I had this in another set in my toolbox, and this is just long bits that I can put in this Malco handle. And that's just, it's convenient to have that instead of have a bunch of screwdrivers, you know, for something like this when you're just grabbing and going. So that's nice. And then I have this Craftsman bit set that's got all the, you know, it's even got hex and it's got Torx. I might put some different bits in here, but having this combo is great. And then I bought these recently. Excuse me. Bought these recently. These are just hex. They're an Amazon brand, Mole Work. But I figured they would be great to have in here because I can grab this for putting together stuff, you know, working on the car, whatever. This is like an assembly kit, really, if I'm assembling something or replacing a part. But this is, you know, standard and metric, goes up pretty big, and I can throw it in the impact, or I can throw it on this handle, or I can throw it in one of these bit ratchets. So these little Titan bit ratchets are really cool. They're really good. I've been happy with them so far. They're really fine tooth and they're just tiny. I got a bit one and a 1/4 inch one. And then I got this Gear Wrench 84 tooth locking flex. This is a good ratchet. I've been enjoying it. It's really good. So just little accessories, you know, and then extra 3/8 accessories, like a extra extension, one of those Wobble Plus extensions or whatever. This is a long wobble impact extension. And then this is probably the extension I use the most right here, is just this small 1/4 inch, 3/8 extension. So, you know, it just gives you that little bit of extra length and a Wobble Plus feature on it too. So it just makes it really handy. You can really get on stuff in a lot more ways. And then this little stubby 90 tooth gear wrench is awesome. I've been using it a bunch since I got it. Really like the stubby. And then this one for working on the car is awesome too. Ratcheting Klein stubby. You know, if you need a stubby, chances are you need it to be ratcheting, or at least it helps to be ratcheting. You know, you're in a tight spot and, you know, you can ratchet. Just a little pocket screwdriver. And then I made this little pry bar. This was I think this used to be, it has threads here, like, I think it used to be in a place for a pocket clip. I think it used to be one of those maybe like voltage tester screwdrivers or something maybe. I think maybe in there was one of those little lights for like voltage testers. But it's a Bonnie made in USA. I thought it was cool. I just thought it was a neat little screwdriver. So I heated it up and bent it. And man, it's been a fun little pocket screwdriver to use. Pocket pry bar to use. And since it's got this thread here, I'm going to find like a little bolt or something to maybe attach a magnet to and screw a magnet down in here. I'm going to figure out a way to do that, so I'll have a magnet on the end of this. And I think that's going to be a great little tool to have, a little homemade tool. So, you know, just little accessories. Here is a Titan brand 1/4 inch hex adapter for a 3/8. So you could put it on a 3/8 ratchet. Just nice little accessory. Oh, and this is one of my favorites. It's a Carlisle brand from Napa, but it's the 1/4 inch with the, you know, the spinner with the 1/4 inch on the end, so you can use it like an extension. And this is really fun to use. Go like that. I like this handle. It's kind of like the Snap-on handles or something, or the Mac ones. And you just, this is a good combo right here. Really good. You know, you can even just do a lot of stuff. Like, this is my goal for this kit, is just a good multitude of ways to get on something, you know, in a small package. And this is all my good little drive stuff, and little pry bar and screwdriver stuff, and small and 1/4 inch sockets. And then rounding that stuff out is just, this is my everyday pouch that I use for like all my tools, like for, I mean, all my jobs. The first thing I do when I get out of the truck to go do something is I grab this. And I think we've done videos about it. I think I finally got it really where I like it. And the one thing this little kit doesn't have is pliers. So the main pliers that I'm gonna need if I'm doing something would be, you know, a little pair of channel locks and a pair of needle nose pliers. And I'm still just all about these Snap-on ones. They're just fantastic. I can't say enough good things about these Snap-ons. They come a little tight, but I've broken them in now, and man, I couldn't live without these Snap-ons. And then the Knipex is great too, you know, and they fit just so perfect in this pouch. So this will really cover my pliers needs, and then just more screwdrivers, you know, good to have, you know, for the nut driver. And just, you know, this is actually a really nice another kind of little pocket screwdriver for prying stuff off of, like, you know, electrical connectors and stuff working on your truck. And then you always got to have a little flashlight, and this one is a really good little Olight. They sent me this. Just a really great little inspection light. Really good. I love it. And it fits in this pouch perfect. So, you know, grab my socket set, grab this, and I grab this bag. So, we need to talk about the bag with this open still, because it's got power tools, just a few little power tools that I'm going to use for little stuff. You need a work light, you know, and this is my Snap-on one. I've had this one for about a year now. I bought it on the Snap-on truck, and it's just a great little light. It's got a really strong magnet right there, and, you know, it turns all the way around. You need one to get down and stick on something when you're working on cars. And this one, it's just a really good little light. It's just really sweet. It cuts on, and then you hold it, and it'll dim down and blink when it's done, or you can turn it all the way up again. That turned it down, and it'll blink. I like that better than like multiple settings, you know. But anyway, good little Snap-on light, way better than this Milwaukee one that I got a long time ago, and I hate this light. It has the worst battery life ever. The Milwaukee USB lights really suck in my opinion, just because of the battery life. It's terrible. So I wanted a rechargeable one. This is a USB, I guess it's a USB-C. I can't remember which one that is, but it's a rechargeable, just awesome little work light. And then I got this guy here, my little Bosch that I was talking about last week. This is just a little 1/4 inch impact driver, but it doesn't have too much power, and that's a good thing. And when you look at this set, like, there's so many options. You know, I can put this and do sockets. That's a good little compact little driver. It's so short. Like, that's what makes it really good for working on cars, is it's a short little impact, you know. Or I can put a hex bit on it. Easy. Or I could, put any of these long bits in there. Whatever, you know. It's just a really good amount of options. If I need a magnetic bit, you know, I can put this bit holder and use any of these guys. So I just think that's a really great tool for working on the truck. I have the Milwaukee one too. It's actually sitting in here. I was just using it. I have this one, so it goes with these other Milwaukee tools I'm about to pull out. But you know, I don't mind having a couple different battery platforms in use at once. It's just an extra charger. I'm not worried about mixing them. I'm not anal about that like some people are. So these are the two Milwaukee tools. And this one I actually just got, and I've been using it, and I love it. Now, these are all brushed, old brushed 12-volt tools. This is the brushed Milwaukee 3/8 ratchet. I love this thing. You know, for what I do, I don't really even need, you know, if you're a DIY mechanic, like, you don't need an electric ratchet. But it is very convenient and makes jobs easier, you know. And I like using it. It, you know, it doesn't have a ton of torque or whatever. But you can break something loose and run it off with this. This is just a really, really fun tool to use. I really like it. And I bought this because I wanted a smaller 3/8 impact since I got this impact socket set. I've always had a 3/8 impact that I like fine. My DeWalt XR, and this one has pretty good power for a 3/8, so I'll still use it, but I'm mostly just zipping stuff with this one. So, you know, the head up here is short, and it's okay, but the base, the battery at the bottom is like, it just gets in the way. So that's what I don't love about this for everyday impact stuff. But this 3/8, I like these handles for what you're using a little gun like this for, with the battery up in it. Really works good for it. And this is an old model. It's an old brush. You can see the spark in there when you cut it on. But it doesn't have a ton of power. But this is the oldest, like, brushed Milwaukee gun. I bought this on Amazon for 60 bucks. And I didn't want to get, like, I thought about getting the stubby impact, the stubby 3/8 M12, but that thing's so expensive, and, like, it's just, I don't need that. I don't need that much power in a 3/8, and I feel like it's just too much for me, because I'm not a mechanic, so I don't need that every day. I'm sure it's a really awesome impact, but this one is really surprisingly fun to use. Like, I'm happy with it, and for just zipping stuff off in a 3/8 drive, I actually think this is a really good tool. I've been using it. I've used it for several things since I got it, and I really like it. So these are great little power tools for working on the car. This brushed ratchet is really good. I got a really good deal on it, and I'm just really glad I bought it. What I also want is a 1/4 inch one. I really want a 1/4 inch one. I'd like to have the long neck one too, but the long neck one's so expensive. I'm not going to do it. You know, I don't do, like, I'll spend money on tools that I use all the time for my profession, you know, which is a maintenance, you know, everything kind of guy. I work, you know, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, carpentry stuff. I'll spend good money on tools for that because that's what I make my living with. I don't make my living working on vehicles. So I'm not going to buy the extra long brushless ratchet. But these are well-made tools that will get the job done. And this just gives me so much, you know, ability to do all kinds of stuff, you know. Maybe for some reason I need to put a bit on this to get in somewhere and be able to spin a bit out hands-free. You know, that's a good option. I can put a bit on here, a magnetic extender maybe, and do that. So this kit really gives me a lot to work with. You know, I could put like these and a hex bit on that if I needed to. Or if I needed a little more juice than this one gives me, I could put the hex on here. This one doesn't like to work with the hog ring as well. This one's got the hog ring. That's on there pretty good. But I could put this and then do that with a hex on the impact. It's just a really good setup. I'm really pleased with this impact and this ratchet. Like these two things right here, I can get a lot done with them. So this is my kit, you know, that I've been rocking with, and it's really been like surprisingly working out really well. And the best thing about it is that when I have it all put up, all I have to do is grab that bag and this right here, and I'm good to go. And I always have this pouch in the truck, you know, easy, right where I can grab it. So I'll grab this, throw it in here, and walk to the vehicle that I'm working on. So that's the point of this, is to make it like a compact, versatile set. And the only thing that it's missing really that I might really need that I can't get is wrenches, which that's what I got my wrench roll in my truck for. So I have all those wrenches when I need them, and deep sockets. And if I need deep sockets, I'll just walk to the shop and get whatever deep sockets I need. But I really don't need deep sockets that much, so, and I can use a wrench if I really need to for that situation. So that's my DIY mechanic kit. Let me know what you guys think. I'd be interested to kind of hear what you guys like to use for working on your cars. I feel like that's something that everybody needs. It's just a kit to grab and work on something. So anyway, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's cold, but it's beautiful and sunny. And we've got a bunch more videos coming, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.